Hello, as hopefully some people come on in here. Gig Talk Power Hour, as so I'm deeming it. Let some people pop on in here. Tuesday afternoon. Probably the worst day to do gig work. Probably the worst day to do. We got ourselves a banger. What's going on, Chris? Yeah, absolutely. No bangers to be had today. Spark. I got a video going up and tonight. It's a really small one, but I finished an incentive from last week. But this week has been abysmal. How are things out your way? We've been depending on all of the little side apps I've been doing, the the field agent, not even field agent, you put that in my head. We've been referring to all the field studies, like the big one I did last week on my $200 respondent. So we've been really working with that lately to try to make things happen. But I'm not liking the start of 2026 at all. Not the birthday present I thought. There's an incentive on Spark that I got for this past weekend. It was 10 orders for 60 or 15 orders for 90. And it was a 5-day incentive. And I'm only at 11. And I've been out every single day trying to grind it. But I'm only at 11. Which means tomorrow I have to get 4 because I didn't get any today, and my daughter's in dance lessons right now. By the time I get home, which is going to be around 6, it's not going to be worth going back out. 10,000 deliveries, man. Yeah, I got a buddy who does the post office. He was trying to get me into it for a while. I struggle with the schedules, which is what I say in my intro of every single video. I struggle with the schedule right now. My wife and I can't make a regular schedule work. So, but we're getting to the point where it's getting close. It's getting really close. We're in February now. So again, this is the gig slowdown of the year. Everyone knows the winter is slow. Of course, it doesn't help when there's snowbanks and stuff everywhere. But this is the worst time to do gig work. And we got 9 people in now. Let's see if we can get a couple more thumbs up. That helps me out. Appreciate you guys just talking about gig work here. I got an hour to kill. What's on your mind in terms of gig work? How's Spark doing? We do have a lot of Spark updates coming. A lot of them, and some big Spark updates coming. And I'll give you guys a little teaser to them, but I'm going to do a full-fledged video tomorrow on that. Well, I'm going to record it tomorrow. Maybe I can upload it tomorrow if I'm lucky. But this is going to be my hot take. I see Spark turning the cliff. Turning the cliff. Spark was on its climb. It's on its climb. It's like a stock. It's like Bitcoin. If you're into crypto, Bitcoin is tanking. It hit the peak, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, it goes down. I see Spark starting to do the slight nosedive back to the rest of gig work. A couple changes I've seen on Reddit, not in my area, but I've seen some changes happening, and no bueno. I mean, 6 days a week of solid hours, and I know that the post office has good benefit. Absolutely, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And again, I would love to be able to do gig work in the way that it's meant to be done, which is do it as a part-time job. I'm kind of forced into the position right now of doing it full-time, and I really don't want to be in this position. But again, it's just in certain family dynamics, that's what you have to do. You have to make things work the way that they work. I'm lucky that I have other sources of revenue, so even if I have a bad gig day, I can still make it work in other ways. But absolutely, Shipped also has gone downhill. major, so I'm going to do a full-fledged video on that. And I got receipts to prove it. It's not just me talking to the camera. I got receipts to prove my thesis is here. Yeah, absolutely. I hope you get it. I know you're down south, so I know you've been lucking out a little bit better, but I know doing anything mail related outside, I see them struggling so hard in those one-wheel drive cars trying to hit mailboxes that are buried in the snow. There's got to be someone out there besides Chris. We're fluctuating between 7 and 12 live viewers. There's got to be someone out there. Let it be known. If you disagree with me, what's your favorite app? I know, Chris, I know you're a Sparker and you do some of the apps that I do. But yeah, base pay will go down and workload will go up. If you compare grocery delivery between apps, there's Shipped, there is Instacart, of course, there's DoorDash. They do triple shops. That's as far as we'll go for now, combined with some other things, some other rumors going around. But yeah, like I said, I was out early. It is my birthday. As you can see, I don't have a birthday hat. I just have a Jeff Gordon hat. I am a NASCAR fan. It is my birthday, my 37th birthday, which birthdays mean nothing. I'm not going out. I'm not doing any partying. What did I do? I went to BJ's and I bought a frozen Cheesecake Factory cheesecake. And I went to Wendy's and I bought a Baconator, which at age 37, absolutely should not have bought a Baconator. I am already feeling it, but it did taste good. But, yeah, I wish I had a summer birthday and I could do more with it. But we did make $30 this morning on one of my field study apps, so we have that. But yeah, just a really blah day. Got 2 likes. We got 14 live viewers. We got nobody talking besides Chris. So it would really be cool if some of you guys just say hi. Let me know that you're there. Let me know that you're in the world. This takes 2 letters. There we go. Start panting like a dog. I don't understand what that means. I don't get it. I'm going along with the trolls. I don't know. I love to cherry pick. Unfortunately, you can't cherry pick anymore. In my area, anyways. I don't want to get into the weeds politically at all, but we do have a lot of migration citizens here, and they have migrated to Spark. And there's at least for a store that is not that high volume. I actually know someone who's a Walmart manager, and he said he looked at my store's numbers, and he said it's kind of a mid store. We probably have 40 to 50 drivers out a day, and don't get any. I saw an order today. It was $40 for 20 miles. 2 customers, about 15 items total. That was the one order I saw today on Spark. Now, round trip, it's not $2 a mile. Keeping it PG, yes. I saw the attire change this morning, so yes. But at least she likes me. And the gig world doesn't. But yeah, 40 for 25. I couldn't will myself to do it. I should have in retrospect, but I couldn't will myself to do $40 for 25 miles. I wouldn't do it on Instacart. I wouldn't do it on DoorDash. And I wouldn't do it on Spark. But it's like, is this the world that we're coming to now? But yeah, I do want to do 1 live stream a week. I do kind of like doing these talking shows. I did dabble with doing a live delivery stream last week with doing a .com. It got a lot of views, but I will say it was really stressful to record. Mind you, I did fall on my ass one time, which was kind of funny. But I do want to do one of these. Timing wise, I was like, I don't know what to do because it's going to be too early for some people that are still at work. I saw Dashing Trader is still live, so that's a large portion of the live views right now. But I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe people who do DoorDash, they're getting ready for night shift, so thought this might be a decent time to come out, but DoorDash I haven't done a DoorDash this week. I did 1 Instacart. So I don't know, guys. This gig world hasn't been doing that well lately. I haven't worked a W-2 job since 2025 February. That was when I had to leave my W-2 job. So that this is a straight year that I've done gig work. Prior to that, I did gig work for 4 years before that, 3 to 4 years before that. So I haven't been in the W-2 market. I have one friend that I worked with 10 years ago who said she could probably help me get into her company. And I have been looking at that opportunity. Monday to Friday still gives me the opportunity to gig. The only hard part is with the kids and bouncing them between activities, and when they're sick. It's always important to have one flexible parent in a family situation, and if you have two corporate parents, it's very difficult. 20%, yeah. So I last week got granted gold status on DoorDash. I was a gold dasher. My acceptance rate went from 9 all the way to 77. I will tell you, in one Friday night, I went from 77 back down to 20. I did not see one gold-plated offer the entire time. So in my market, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. I saw one gold-plated offer. It was a $7 order that boosted to 20. It was actually like a 7 plus. But one out of maybe 80 orders was worth it. So in my zone, absolutely not. No reason at all why I would ever be in my area, be a pro dasher, top dasher, colored dasher, gem, whatever it is. Never doing it. I think there are certain markets to where it is more important to fight for that. Maybe in the city where it is so consolidated, you have so many people on the same exact footprint. Maybe there it's more important to be on a priority tier. Or I know, what's her name? One of my favorite people out there. My new favorite friends I met, Sarah Elizabeth. She is down south in Florida, and she has to struggle to schedule on the apps because she's a cherry picker, has no tier, and everything has to be scheduled. So, but I always stand by, I think it's location based. I think it's right time, right place. And I think it's dumb luck. And that's what I try to preach in my videos is people will tell you all the strategies to get, and there are strategies, do not get me wrong. Things that you should do, things that you shouldn't do, things that you should watch out for. But so much of this is just dumb luck. So whenever people prioritize acceptance rating, it's dumb luck. And I have a video I want to do on this, but I don't know how to do it because it would take a lot of animations and graphics, and I'm not that good at it. Fran! Thank you for popping in, Fran. I did watch, I commented on it, but I think you deleted your video. I know you've been going through a saga. So I sorry that you're going through all of that, and appreciate the heads up. But it's just so sad what people will do to ruin people's lives and ruin people's communities. So I got your back, even though I can never stay awake for your streams. But I always start watching them and then I fall asleep. So you probably get a lot of watch hours out of me because I'll just leave it on while I'm sleeping. But usually when I stop commenting, that's because I fell asleep. So, yep, Chris, luck and strategy, absolutely. Like I said, there's luck to it. When you have multiple apps, and this is a video I actually want to do and I know how to do it. Knowing which app actually will, like, a lot of times you'll get the same offer on 3 apps and you have to pick which one you want to do. I call it app biasing. That's a video I want to do because I feel like we all have a different choice. Like if you got a $10 order on 3 different apps, which one are you going to pick? Like, I feel like that's a cool video I want to do. My day's terrible, friend. It's my birthday, as you may see in the title. But I did spark and I hit a goose egg. And DoorDash, I didn't schedule and I couldn't get on even through lunch shift. So I don't know how much of my long form videos you've got to see, but I do some like field study apps and research apps. And I got paid a few bucks for them. Well, not a few. I got paid like $30 today just to do like a little 10-minute study. Kind of like helping a company out with research. But yeah, that's it. No gig work. Yes. I'd be interested to know who that is, but one of my gig friends on this channel is Mr. 6'6" Dasher. That dude literally just kills it in catering orders. Like he gets to stack catering orders. He has one app that he is the only driver in his town, in his major metro, that uses the app. They've told him as much. So if he turns down an order, they will manually call him and be like, hey, buddy, can you take this order? How much do you want? So, and he gets multiple a week. And then he uses one of the more mainstream apps, the Expedite. Dude literally can stack catering orders. And I signed up for Expedite in my area. I live in Southeast Massachusetts. My area for catering stretches all the way to Providence, Rhode Island. But you're able to like fine tune where you want to receive orders from. I didn't receive any orders. So 2 days ago, I'm like, you know what? Let's just see if this is broken. So I opened my whole market app up to see if I can get catering orders even in Providence, Rhode Island. And I can't get any catering orders. So I think that's just a market thing. Yeah, it's a rough day, you know. My wife talks me out of it, you know, the ebbs and flows of gig work. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. And when you have a bad day, you can't just fall off the deep end. Hey, I got 50 gems now. I don't know any of this live stream stuff because I don't do it very often, but I have 50 gems now. I don't know what that means, but well, now they went away. Where'd they go? Now they're back. I don't know what this means. So whoever's giving me gems, thank you. Whoever's taking them away, I says I have 50 gems. I don't know. I'm not good with these live streams. I know there's a lot of things that you can get with them. Party hats, thank you. I know I got to get my algorithm, I got to pump it with the lives. I did one last week, and I would like to do another. I want to start doing 2 a week, one of these talking head videos, and one actually going about and doing the thing of working. But I have to get another phone. I do have like a phone that it's like from 2017, and it's just a pain in the butt. It doesn't work that well, but it works good enough. But the wife won't let me get it yet. Yeah, so I'm like 50 minutes south of Boston. So I'm sure, like, if I wanted to really be adventurous one day, I could probably travel north about 20 miles and make a lot more. But I don't know if any of you have seen Boston on a map or like heard any memes about how bad Boston is. But if you don't know where you're going, you have no business being up there. Yeah, thank you, Fran. It's a good day. Like, I got the family, you know, we're going to hang out. I'm going to hang out with the wife, have some good dinner. I'm happy. If gig is bad, so be it. More fish but absolutely, Fran, thanks for popping in. Like, yeah, the hard part with me in my life, and I'm sure some people can relate to this, is we don't have a lot of, dare I say, help. So, like, my mother-in-law, she's amazing, and she'll watch the kids all the time. On the weekends, we have to drive the kids to my mother-in-law's house, who lives about a half hour away. She can't drive at night because of she has not the best vision. So, but she also works part-time too, so she can't pick up the kids from school. She can't take the kids to the doctor. She can't take them to dance. My parents aren't able to help out either for certain reasons. So we don't have the help to get the kids back and forth from certain things if stuff happens. And, you know, the worst thing that you could ever do is when you have two corporate parents on rigid schedules is one of you has to call out, one of you has to leave early, one of you has to put in PTO, and it just gets so messy. And whenever we've tried to do two W-2s, we always get into these situations where it's like someone has to prioritize their job, someone has to put themselves at risk. And for as long as we've made enough money to make it work, you know, we do it. The YouTube does not, I got monetized on YouTube when my big Spark video was at about 11,000 views, and I've made an okay amount of money surprisingly since then. But YouTube's not going to pay the bills on gig content. So it's like I can't just say, let me be a YouTuber. The gig content, it's fun. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing it for fun, but the gig content's not going to pay the bills. So got to find a way. Unless I can become Travel JB, who has like 40,000 subscribers now. Travel JB's killing it, but I just can't do what he does. Yeah, Travel JB, like he can do those challenges and 10,000. I'll take 10 hours in a row of no tip orders. I'll take 10 hours in a row and earn by time. I can't do what he does. Like I can't take the financial hit and I don't have the time to do it, but that dude's killing it. I watch most all of his stuff. I would love to do what he does because he can make the money off of YouTube and he can actually do the gig work too. And he produces really high quality stuff. That's what I try to emulate in my videos. Yeah, so you can understand, obviously being 17 makes it a little bit different. But you can understand why the flexibility is just huge. To be able to, all right, we have to go to the doctors today. We have to go to the specialist today. Oh, it's a half day. They got to be home early, or there's an activity, or, it's just a bad day. We have to take care of some business. Not having to put in PTO, not having to take points, not falling behind on work. Like, it's something that so many people, that's why we do it. And back in the day, exactly. Back in the day, I'll tell you, 2022, late 2021, early 2022, that's when I started gig. I would make anywhere from I'd say 175 to 250 a day on Spark, just between 9 and 3. That's it. I didn't even need to do DoorDash. I didn't need to log on for night shifts. That was it. I literally sparked for 5 hours a day. The base pays were double. I think a base pay on a curbside order. What time is it? All right, I got like 20 more minutes. The base pay on a curbside order was $15. Shopping orders was at least 20. And where was I going with that? Yeah, so you would make just crazy money. And and the mileage. The mileage was not any more than 10 miles, 8 miles back in the day. So you never had long return trips. It was perfect. And then you didn't have saturation either. So like I would get an order, come back to the store. Get an order, come back to the store. Didn't need to turn anything else on. Got incentives. It was nuts. You never sat for more than 20 minutes at most. There was no, am I going to get an order this hour? It's how many orders will I get and can I risk declining 2 or 3 of them? But again, I have a video coming out. I think that Spark's oversaturation is going to be slightly remedied, but I have a lot of concerns based on what I've seen on Reddit. Travel JB, absolutely, dude is hilarious. That's why I put so many memes in my videos. I take after him. I try to be silly. He does good camera. The shots he does, I can't do them. I'm still getting over my level of awkwardness on like recording in stores and setting cameras up on the shelf. Like I can't do that. Okay, I'm not extroverted enough for that. But I'm obviously doing something right because this thing has been growing. So did luck out that 400 of them came off of one video, but you know, you guys like Spark. Spark is the new thing. Spark is the big thing, but Spark has its problems. Like Spark is going to level off. It is already leveling off. Spark is going to level off. Spark is overhyped. It's over discussed. And it can only ever grow to be so big physically. Like, thank you, Chris. I do appreciate you. You've been one of my loyal and true. And again, don't feel pressure to stay in here. Don't feel pressure to hang in here with me because nobody else is talking, Chris. So you do what you got to do. I'm probably going to stay on for another like 15 minutes or so. So my daughter's done around like 10 past 5 Eastern. So, but yeah, Spark is the new thing. And I don't see how much longer it's going to be. It's too over publicized right now. And I'll take credit. I've been posting predominantly Spark videos. But I can also be a realist. Look at you. See? That's what I do. I'm the dude that I did all the laundry. And I take the trash out, cook dinner. Like I said, no cooking dinner tonight. I took a liberty to have Wendy's for lunch, and I think the Wendy's for lunch is going to translate into Wendy's for dinner. Because, yeah, double Baconator at age 37, absolutely terrible decision. So France sent these party hats. I have 50 party hats, and I don't know what to do with them. So I really need to learn gifts. See, I'm not about, like, YouTube has yelled at me to turn on super chats and all this stuff. I genuinely don't feel like doing all, like, begging and e-begging like so many people do, but I don't know what to do with these party hats. I don't know how to use them. So I'm going to have to look up how to use these little weird oddities that people can send each other. Absolutely. Yeah, we've actually converted from Tide, in our attempts to figure out how to save money and be thrifty. We've actually decided to go to generic after a lot of deliberation and attempts. We have gone to generic BJ's brand laundry detergent, and I will say it's just as good as Gain. It's just as good as anything else. Certain things I will not go generic on. Certain things, no. Typically, cleaning products, I'm a yuppie. But I will say the BJ's version of Gain, actually not that bad. It's another thing that I want to talk about in one of my future videos is just being thrifty with money. Part of, like, in the gig culture, obviously we're hustling, we're grinding, we're making rough decisions on how to make the most money and what is worth it and what's not. There's a lot of opportunities out there to either save money or make money in ways that take advantage of what you already do in life. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that I'm down per se. It's just, it's just the ebbs and flows of gig work. I get home certain days and the wife sees me like upset. She's like, "What? Did you have a bad day?" It's like, I feel like I'm letting her down by not making money, but it's like I can only do what the world has for me in store. So if the world doesn't have orders, I live in a smaller market that's a lot more isolated. So there's not a ton out there comparative to people who live in the cities. But I know the market has orders there. I know the market has money to be made. It's just a matter of making it. It's a matter of willing yourself to take the orders that you normally don't want to take. Some people, like when a DoorDash order comes up, all right, right here, DoorDash, it's a slow day. A DoorDash order comes up, $10 for 7 miles. Do you take it? $10 for 7 miles. but you haven't moved in, let's say, 30 minutes, and a $10 for 7-mile order comes up, and it's going to a place where you know it's going to be a full round trip back. So it's really $10 for 14 miles. There are some of you that would say, well, it's a slow day. I'm going to take it. But for me, I would rather not make the $10 than do a 14-mile round trip. Like, that's me. So that's what my day was today on food orders. Was I can take this one-way money and say that, yes, I didn't go home with a goose egg. I made $10. I made $20. But did I really, when I go check my mileage app and realize, look how many miles I drove? I'm not going to do that. Like I said earlier in the stream, a 40 for 25 Walmart order or something like that. It was a 40 for 20, 40. It was less than $2 a mile and it was over 20 miles, but it was $40. In hindsight, because of the dollar amount, I wish that I took it, but I didn't. But back in the day, a year or two ago, 2 years ago, I would never be put in that position because we would never see an order that was that bad to begin with. So it's just, that's where the market is. And between Shipt was my go-to app from, I would say, October up until the end of December. I've done one Shipt order in the entirety of 2026. Spark was my go-to from 2022 till late 2024. And then it went into kind of just mixed in with the rest of the app. It didn't have special power anymore all of 2025. But now Spark is like, it's an afterthought for me now. And I don't know how people make enough money on gig work. On food orders, I should say. I don't know how people make enough money on food delivery. And Instacart, unless you live near a Costco and you have an SUV, I don't know how you make money on Instacart. Like, sure, you might luck out with some $50, $60 orders here and there. Oh, you're a breath of fresh air. You know, I would love to. But A, it's not as easy as it looks in this climate. And B, it has to work for the rest of my family. So, and what my family requires with scheduling. So, you know, DoorDash is not I'm the first one to admit that gig work shouldn't be a full-time career. You know what? He's giving me watch time, and he's giving me watch time, and he's giving me what's the other word? Engagement. So, you know what? Let it go for now. I'll get rid of it if it needs to go. All right, now it's about that time. You know, you give engagement, and that's just the thing with that kind of comment, that kind of guy is the kind of guy that says, I don't want a tip, but you also need to do this for me. It's just that kind of guy. It's the kind of guy that would say, a person who works at a grocery store full time, oh, I'm fine, Chris. Do not worry. I am fine. I have thick skin. I have another channel that I do where I talk a lot and I deal with a lot of trolls. It's kind of an esports gaming channel pertaining to NASCAR. So I'm used to commentating. I'm used to talking on camera. I'm used to talking to idiots. So, but that's the kind of person that would say grocery store people don't deserve to have full-time jobs and everybody should be a plumber or an electrician. That's the kind of mentality that kind of person has. And it's fun to say that, yeah. Go get a real job. You shouldn't be doing DoorDash. Well, then don't order food delivery. Because if you don't order the service, if you don't use the service will not exist. That's simply how the world works. So for everybody that says, get a real job, that means you don't want people to be delivery drivers, which means you cannot order delivery. Because if you're going to pander to a service, then you can't also downgrade the people who use that, who work and provide that service. It doesn't make sense. How many people don't like self-checkout at the grocery store? A lot of the boomers hate self-checkout. You need to have people working at these cash registers because I don't work at the store. I shouldn't be doing your job. They are the same exact people that will say, what do you mean you deserve more than $15 an hour? What do you mean you deserve a living wage? These are low-skilled jobs that are meant for teenagers. Well, Sally, it's 10 o'clock at night. So those teenagers that you so believe should be working in this job can't work at night. So yes, real people do need to work at these jobs, and they should be not having to live off of food stamps. That's there's that. That's one of the tangents that I get on rather radically. So I should probably tie myself in there. But yeah, that does not bother me. It just gets me down a rabbit hole. But I do appreciate this being the Corey and Chris Power Hour. Nope, outside of Fran, and Fran popped in, but I know Fran's a busy lady. She does gig work out of Phoenix, Arizona. Does a lot of live streams at night for us Eastern people. So she would usually start her live streams around 9 or 10. And I can't stay awake that long. But she's a super sweetheart. So I'm glad that she popped in. And a couple other people who I know watch me regularly. Again, it's not the best time. There's never a good time. Beast mode. Yeah, I don't get it. I'll give you one more snippet of that. Again, so if the argument always is with the minimum wage stuff and the putting down jobs, that if you are never meant to do a low-skill job as a career, which is fine. You should always strive to do better in life. You should always strive to be in the highest position possible, to make the most amount of money, to be the most comfortable, to be the happiest. You should always be happy with whatever you're doing. And you're not always going to be happy. Duh. But there's going to be times in your life you're doing something that you don't want to do. And even when you're in those positions, you should be able to get by in life. Not everyone's going to be a plumber. I can't be a plumber. I have nice hands, as that David said, but they don't work for anything besides computers. You don't want me fixing your car. You don't want me working on your pipes. You don't want me messing with wires. I'm not a trade guy. Call me dumb and I'm not a real guy because I can't work on a car. Call me one of those. But I'm into IT. I got my IT degree when IT jobs started going extinct because of the AI boom, and even help desk jobs, they're all AI now. So I got into IT at the worst time, and I have not found a way to break into it. So I'm doing this to get by. Or if I was working in a grocery store, if I was working in a retail store, if whatever it is, you're doing it to get by. You should be able to afford a scrummy one-bedroom apartment somewhere in town. That's how I view it. You should be able to always afford something because that's what you're doing in that moment, but you have goals in your head. And that's why I always when people say that they do this DoorDash stuff full time and they don't have step 2 planned out in their head, that's where I get nervous for them. Because this is a field that I don't think is going to exist in 10 years. DoorDash is growing as a company. All these companies are growing. They're finally getting to profitability. I don't see how the gig economy lasts in 10 years. There's too much against it that I don't see how it lasts. So there's way too many people out here that are throwing all of their ducks in this boat that is gig work, that I really, really worry for them that they don't have a second plan down the road or their next step, their next move. I really, really worry for those people because this is the only thing that you'll really ever do in life where you'll make less money the more you do it and the longer you do it. Yeah, I don't want to be a plumber. I would love to have the skills, but I'm not meant for it. And again, we got more people in here. Throw the thumbs up. Again, shout happy birthday to me. If you're watching this and you don't even want to talk about what we're talking, just shout happy birthday to me. Let me know that you're there. But even the people, and this is where I'll bring up Pedro, bet on you, Santia. And I'm not saying anything bad about him. I'm not. I'm not doxing him, but this is just something that he has said that I question. Pedro says you have to adapt in the gig economy, which is true. Thank you, Christina. I know you and Chris, you're two of my top two here on the channel. So I appreciate you. But Pedro said, as I got about 5 minutes to get this thought out, hopefully I can, that you have to adapt. Yes, you have to adapt to what the gig market is giving you. But he also says that you can be successful and that he is making more money the more he does this. And I question that. I don't think he may be physically making more money, but that does not mean he's being more successful in the gig world. He's adapting more, yes, but he's having to stretch himself thinner and thinner and thinner to make more money, which is not a sign of strength in the gig economy. It's a sign of weakness. Because before, you used to be able to focus on one app, maybe two, maybe three. Now you have to focus on 7 or 8 apps to make what you made years ago. So while he's making more money, I really, really disagree that he's doing better now than he was before. And eventually you run out of options to where you can't spread yourself any more thin because there's no more options. And I know he's a smart guy. He has, I think he's a restaurant manager in the past. I know he can make it around and do other things, and he'll make that decision if he ever has to. But just don't ever throw all your ducks in the gig world. He is, I think, part of, I appreciate that, Christina. I know you, I think you were the one who said you learned a lot from Shipped, and I'm going to do I don't know if you followed the Shipped updates that just came out, but that's going to be one of my videos, probably I have a Spark video I want to do first, and then a Shipped video, and then I'm going to do the Uber Eats pros and cons. That's my next 3, so I'm probably not going to do a ride along for at least another week. Those don't seem to get the views anyways. They're a lot of work to edit for very little reward. But Pedro, I think a lot of it is a stage act, which I don't blame him for. I think the YouTube revenue is a decent part of what he makes, which is fine. He has almost 100,000 subscribers, so kudos when he gets there. I think he'll be the 3rd gig driver to hit 100K, so good for him. So I think a lot of it's rage bait to get comments. I think it's rage bait wrapped in truth and wrapped in his personal beliefs. But I do think a lot of it's for show. And that's fine. Again, I'm not roasting him at all. It's just merely an observation and a thought. I watch his videos. People give him so much shit, and I don't understand why. Yeah, Shipped. I can't do Shipped anymore. Not that I can't. I'm not deactivated, but I have noticed a tangible drop-off in Shipped in 2026. A really bad one. I honestly think Shipp's entire business model is going to be fundamentally broken if they lower the base pay anymore. It is obviously to that point now. Yay, thank you for the birthday. But yeah, I think Shipp's fundamentally going to be broken pretty soon. I think Spark is getting there, but that is what it is. It's just the gig world. My son has had a bad cough for about a month now. Well, not a month, maybe a week. And now I'm coughing. But if you guys have any final thoughts, again, usually these get better. We get more engagement, more people chatting. Thank you. It's right when I wrap up a stream that we get more engagement. That's how these things work. I got to start doing these for more than an hour. This hat, I'm a huge NASCAR fan. I have, again, another channel that I do that is solely based to NASCAR gaming content, but it's NASCAR. But I've been a NASCAR fan for years. This is Jeff Gordon's 2015 hat. It's in terrible shape because it's from 2015, but this was his 2015 hat. Drive to End Hunger. And so I've always been, now Kyle Larson's my new guy, the 5 car. I have nobody outside of my NASCAR gaming community to talk to about NASCAR, but I make little snippets in it. You'll see it if you watch my videos. I always throw a little NASCAR meme, like, we got a rush, so I'll do a NASCAR clip. Yeah, it's always when I got to wrap this up. My daughter's going to be done in about 4 minutes. So, but it's always right when you wrap up a stream is when you get the most engagement. That's how it always works. But tell me your age via NASCAR driver's name associated with Dirt. So this is going to take you back, Dirt, to 1997. I want to say Jeremy Mayfield's RCA car. I think Jeremy Mayfield drove a 37 car. Honestly, 37, I don't know of any NASCARs that were 37, but I think there was no, that might have been 97, but you'll fact check me on that later. But yeah, I haven't linked it at all because it's such a niche thing that I do that there's no interest for it. Absolutely, Christina. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. So again, I do have a video dropping in 52 minutes. It's just a little 6-minute. It's a Spark video. It's just a little 6-minute because I didn't really have a lot of footage for it, but that'll drop in an hour. And again, I'll have 2 more. I should have 2 more videos out. I just bought I have a new camera and a new mic. So we're trying to step up in the world. So I'm going to try that out in my next video. But I appreciate you guys, especially you two, Christina and Chris. You have been 2 people I can depend on. If I knew how to gift you guys memberships and all that stuff, but I'm going to try to figure it out. I will. I think I can gift memberships. But I'm going to appreciate you guys. And if I can figure that out, I will. 2002. I think that was a Bush car. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to wrap this up. I got to grab my kid. Cruising with Corey out. Thanks for tuning in.